It only took the jury about 20 minutes to reach a unanimous decision to acquit Wavie Jones of involuntary manslaughter in the death of Irvo Otieno. That not guilty verdict came after the jury heard from multiple witnesses, including Central State Hospital staff, deputies, officers, and experts for 4 days, and watched many clips of video showing the moments and days leading up to Otieno's death. Jones's defense attorney says this jury made the right call to find his client innocent.
He's been put through 18 months of hell of being wrongfully charged because he came to work to do his job to try to help people. And unfortunately, for the past 18 months, we've had to suffer the slings and arrows of distortions, intentional misrepresentations to the press from people who had 8.5 million reasons to sell a different version of this than what the truth was.
Prosecutors tried to argue that Jones was one of several to pile onto Otieno in a hospital admission room and forcefully restrain him face down for 12 minutes until he was no longer able to breathe. The Commonwealth argued that Jones showed a complete disregard for Otieno's life in those moments, but the defense put on a lot of evidence attempting to debunk that claim. Some of their key arguments were multiple witnesses testified that Jones was actually trying to help Otieno and roll him onto his side so that he could breathe. And 3 doctors disagreed with the state medical examiner's findings that Otieno died from a lack of oxygen while being restrained. They believe he actually died of a sudden cardiac death. Jones's defense attorney, Doug Ramsor, acknowledged while this case may highlight some institutional failures in the mental health system, that is not the fault of Wavie Jones.
We're not saying there aren't mistakes or things that could be done better in our system, and we're very sympathetic to the plight of the mentally ill. That's what Mr. Jones was doing when he worked there, was trying to help those people in that situation. But he's not the cause of those things. He didn't do it then, right? And he shouldn't bear the blame for any of it.
Meanwhile, Otieno's mother, Caroline Oku, was visibly upset following the verdict. She shouted the words "miscarriage of justice" in the courtroom after the verdict was read aloud.
My son was in the depths of a mental health crisis. The verdict here today shows us very clearly that those persons that find themselves in a crisis like my son did have no protection under the law.
Dinwiddie Commonwealth's attorney, Amanda Mann, who led the prosecution in this case, says that she's disappointed with this outcome. There are still 2 defendants facing charges in the death of Otieno, and there are still 2 trials that are set for the future. In Dinwiddie County, I'm Tyler Lane, CBS 6 News.